it wasn't like he offered me this massive amount of money and I said no, because the money he offered was amazing. It was immense. It was a fucking 7-figure deal and a half. But negotiations somewhere along the line broke down.
Breaking news, Frank. Well, we were kind of rounding third here. The plan, to be honest, was to answer a few more questions. I hope you are all okay with this. We were going to say goodbye to Paul Hughes, answer some questions, and call it a day, pass the baton over to the boys in the back. Then all of a sudden, I look down at my DMs, and I see a DM from my old friend Darren Till saying, hey, get me on the program. I want to respond. I want to defend myself. Moments ago, we had one David Feldman on the show. This is what he had to say about Darren Till. Do you think Darren will ever sign with you guys? Like, I don't know if you saw when he was on our program a couple of weeks ago, he was kind of disparagingly speaking of BKFC, saying it's where careers go to die, where the old guys go. And for the record, I did push back and I say, what about MVP? Look how he's doing post BKFCs in the UFCs and big fights. All to say, it always seems like he kind of poo-poos the idea of fighting Perry in BKFC. What do you think? What's the sense?
I offered him more money than he's ever made in his life. And I don't know if he wants to take the gloves off or not. I don't know what it is. Obviously, the guy can fight, but I don't know if this sport's going to be for him or not. I mean, we were in deep talks, and it was actually about to get signed, and it just never worked out.
So without further ado, let us bring on Mr. Darren Till to respond to these comments from David Feldman. He reached out, and there he is. Hello, Darren. How are you?
Platinum, mate. How are we?
Thank you for reaching out, and here we are live. Appreciate it. Are you upset? Are you pissed off?
No, of course not.
By the way, can I just say, you look fantastic. You look svelte. The face looks thin as hell. I know you're getting ready August 30th, the zone. Ooh, what happened?
I lost a tooth in sparring today.
Is it true that you can lose those veneers? I thought they were good for life.
I've had them since 2019, so I've only lost one up to now, so I'm doing well.
Who hit you? Liam Smith? Who was it?
No, Liam's too small. I've had 2 sparring partners brought in for this camp, just to obviously imitate Luke. So good, 2 good professionals. They've both got over 15 pro fights. So yeah, we've been getting good working with them.
Okay, so where are you when you see this comment? How did this come across your radar? Because it just happened like 25 minutes ago.
I don't go on Twitter much, do I, Ariel? I only go on to troll people, and then I seen David said something, but I know you were saying you said so. I think I must have said a negative comment or something, but I haven't got nothing bad to say about Bare Knuckle. I wanted to work with Bare Knuckle, and David did. He did offer a lot of money, but that was on my end of the negotiations with me and my team. That wasn't exactly how I thought it played out. So that's why I was sort of messaged you then.
Please. So give us your side of the story.
I know you usually chase me for the interviews, Ariel. But
look how the tables have turned.
No, do you know what? I've actually got nothing negative. I haven't got nothing massively negative to say. David's pursued me for years, and obviously the time's never been right, and I've never maybe I probably have badmouthed BKFC in terms of saying, sometimes it's when you're a bit older, but no, it's a great promotion, and David's doing it, correctly, and there's no bad blood between me and David, of course not, but what happened was from my point of view of the way things have gone with me, and obviously I don't know exactly what goes into talking, and obviously he's speaking to my team and stuff like that. Obviously you just get told sometimes brief stuff, if you're in the gym and that, you don't really care, you just want to fight, especially someone like me. I was on holiday after my last fight with Darren, and basically obviously the Nate Diaz fight in what I assume got made with Misfits, so I was going to be fighting Nate on his terms and stuff like that. I was going to be fighting. He picked the weight. He picked the date and stuff like that, because obviously he's the A side, and he's the bigger, he's the bigger name in fighting, as if you will. And then obviously that fight fell through a few days when I got back. So I was okay. So then obviously when we were trying to negotiate and stuff like that, I knew Misfits were totally up for doing a co-promotion with BKFC, and I know they were all for it as well. So there was no cross wires there. And then obviously it was going to be the Perry fight, and also Perry's organisation had offered me $350,000 to fight Perry on his organisation, which, I'm sort of well, you're offering me that, but for you to come over to Misfits, they were offering you a lot more, and you said no. So I was a bit whatever about that. So I don't want to go into that. But then, from what I can recollect and remember, I think negotiations just fell through with David and my team. Like, I don't think they could come to like an agreement on. And don't get me wrong, the money what he offered was fantastic, but I just don't know whether they could get the date or whether whether the offer was as legit as he said. Like, and I'm not trying to say David's like he's talking shit, because he has pursued me for like 2 years, and I know he's real about having me on BKFC, because obviously that Perry fight would be massive, and I'd love to do it on BKFC. It's not like, do you know what I mean? But that's it from my side. I'm not going to come on here talking negative, because I haven't got a lot of negative things to say. But it wasn't like he offered me this massive amount of money and I said no, because the money he offered was amazing. It was immense. It was a fucking 7-figure deal and a half. But negotiations somewhere along the line broke down. But
What
I don't
happened?
know.
What was the stump? Okay, is it true? Is it true that it's the most you've ever been offered? He said that.
It's not the most I've ever been offered, but it was a hell of a lot of money. Like,
Okay.
I mean, David doesn't know me personally, and David doesn't know what I've earned over the course of my 20. I've been fighting 20 years now. I've earned a lot of money. I mean, I've spent it all, but I've earned a lot. Yeah,
So
it was a
where did it
lucrative
break
offer.
down?
That's what I'm saying. I'm on here to not like try and I'm not like, usually I will, I'll always go in on people and I'll say this to that, but there's not a negative I can say. Only that I know from my side I did say yes, but then somewhere along the line negotiations broke down. I don't know whether that was because of date, place, location. Whether Perry would Perry have been ready for that date and location? Because I know we were like had other. So I don't really know like how and why or what. So that's what I'm not saying like there's massive negative stuff to say, but I just know from my side when he offered what he offered. Sorry,
Who is that? Is that your manager?
oh, it's me, missus.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure she wanted to chime in too.
Oh, she'll chime in if you give her a chance. We won't go down that road. She'll say a lot.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, basically, fucking. There was nothing massive in terms of like, oh, this, that. You know me, Ariel. I think you've known me long enough now to say I'm not a dishonest guy. I say the truth, don't I? So I'm not going to say like it was negotiations broke down because of him or because of me, but I did say yes when he did give me that offer. So, I still had one fight left on my contract with Misfits, which I'm fighting with Luke now on that. And then obviously I know Misfits are going to want to renegotiate with me. They've just brought like these rankings out today, and apparently I'm like number one or something. Which I don't pay too much mind to. Do you know what I mean? Like the only thorn I have in myself about being number one is, obviously I want to be a UFC champion at one point and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it, Ariel. There's not a massive like lot. I just wanted to sort of come on when I seen it. I thought, oh, I'll text Ariel. You'll definitely have me on because I pull the biggest numbers.
Okay. You were good up until that last shot. You didn't have to go there. That wasn't very nice.
Do I not pull the biggest numbers then? No.
I mean, Danis does a good job. Fair play to him.
Yeah, Danis does a fucking tremendous job. Like,
What do you make of that fight, by the way? Who's this Warren Spencer guy?
I don't know. Listen, I like to break things down in a realistic aspect. I don't like to break things down because if someone hates Dillon Danis, they're gonna say, "Oh, he's shit." Like, MMA wise, I don't think he's up to the level that he probably thinks he is. But I mean, we can't discredit his jiu-jitsu, level. His credentials. He's a black belt under Marcelo Garcia. I don't know whether they've cut ties or what. I heard something, but that's obviously none of my business. The fact of the matter is he's a black belt under Marcelo Garcia, and he's a legitimate jiu-jitsu player. So I do think it's going to be a good win for Danis. Do you know what I mean?
Last time we had you on, you abruptly left the face-to-face. We were rolling. We were vibing. We had such great stuff going down with you and Luke. Why did you leave so abruptly?
I just can't with Luke. Like, I don't hate him, but I just can't. Luke's vibe's just not my vibe. Like, I can get on Dillon's vibe or Colby's vibe more than Luke's. Like, I just can't with someone like Luke. Like, he's sat there just in this dream world of his, and I'm sat there giving him all these props and credits to, like, when I was a young boy watching him in Strikeforce, he was a phenomenal champion in there, and he was a UFC champion, and I think he's a great fighter. But I just can't when someone sat there, like, talking utter shit about, like, he's trying to say, like I feel like he's trying to discredit my striking in a sense, and it's just like, okay, if we look back, like apart from Masvidal knocking me clean out, when have I ever struggled with anyone in the UFC when it comes to striking? Dricus, look back on that fight on the feet. Whittaker, look back on that fight. Like, he was jumping for takedowns in the 5th round. Gaslam, Stephen Thompson, Cowboy Cerrone, all the people before him. Do you know what I mean? Like, Woodley didn't knock me out. Woodley countered me in our world title fight, and he submitted me. But it's like, you know, I've never struggled with strikers ever. So for him to sit there and just say some of the things saying, just like, I can't with you. You just, your ego's too big. Your pride. You're just a knucklehead, and I can't look at you with that blonde hair. So I just was like, I need to leave.
You think he's smug? Do you think that he genuinely thinks he's better than you?
I think Luke. Look, I don't hate him. Like, as I say, I don't hate him. Like, there's not hate. Me and Luke wouldn't get on as like me and Luke. I could get along with Dillon Danis. I could get along with Colby. I could get along with a lot of people. I probably couldn't get along with Luke. I just don't like I don't like Luke's outlook on life. I think Luke looks down on people. He walks around. I think his ego's big and stuff like that. And that's just not my type of person, Ariel. I'm just not that guy. You know what I mean? I just don't think I could get along with someone like Luke.
Does that make you feel a different way going? Like, in other words, has it been a while since you felt this way about someone that you were fighting? I don't recall recently you having this type of feelings, this type of animosity towards your opponent.
Yeah, I haven't got animosity at all. I feel like I'm being more sensible on this interview. Usually, I'm just like spouting a lot of shit. It's not like animosity. I'll be honest with you. My coach texted me before, and he was like, "So proud of how you've trained in this camp. You're so fit. You're so strong. You've done 10 rounds this morning. You were on the track. You've been hitting all the best times since you started 2 years ago with us. So like, I am fit, strong. I'm proper ready for this fight." It's just like, yeah, there's probably a little extra room for me, Ariel, because I'm not gonna sit here, but I don't like Luke. Like, I don't know him personally to not like him. I just get the vibe from him, the way he is, the way he talks. He just talks to me. He just talks a whole load of shit, and he's just not my type of guy. But that doesn't mean to say I hate him. Like, I wish him all the best and health and happiness outside in life. Like, his life's never going to affect my life. Do you know what I mean? I've got so much things going on in my life, in the gym and in business, to worry about Luke. But you know what I mean? Like, just inside the ring, I just want to fucking hate him, yeah. But I don't hate him. Like, he's just not my type of guy. He's not my type of people. Like, he's one of them people. I wouldn't invite him for a drink.
Would you invite me?
Would you have a drink with me?
Hell yeah. I would just be worried about making the plans, because I would be worried you'd leak my phone number.
I think you have to be more worried about other stuff than that.
What, are you going to put something in my drink?
What?
You're going to put something in my drink?
No, but things get messy, don't they? You know, I'm banned from the Canary Islands, you know.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about
that. That visit and stuff like that. You know,
forgot
things get messy. But I'm not saying in a bad, like, we'd have a good time, but things get messy.
We would.
But I just don't think Luke would be up for that. For me, what I see Luke as, I feel, and I don't want to say this lightly, I feel like Luke's one of them guys, he'd treat someone below him like in a different manner to someone above him. Whereas, like, I was in the gym the other day, and one of the young lads, you know, he hasn't had many fights and stuff like that, and he was telling me a little bit something about a boxing thing, and I was just like taking it in. I was like, oh, that's really good advice, that, mate. I just don't think Luke's that type of guy. I feel like he thinks some certain people are beneath him, and I felt like that when I was with him. I felt like he felt like I was beneath him.
Yeah, and could I ask, since you're talking about that past, so to speak, is that the problem with the Perry fight? Just to be blunt, we all remember what happened at 244. Is travel an issue? Is getting to the States an issue?
No, not in a sense that I can't travel. I still do need to do my visa, but no, that's not the problem. Like, I have everything set in place there to do that. That's not a problem. I can get in the States. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, last time Trump helped me, didn't he?
Yes.
You know, Dana and Trump. But obviously, I'm not with the UFC no more. But yeah, no, that's not a problem. That would probably, when I was scheduled to fight Chavez Jr. on the MVP show, I had to start the process from when the fight got booked, so it would have took like 8 weeks, but it would have got done. Do you know what I mean? So that's not the problem.
Okay. By the way, your mate Khamzat was helped out by Trump this time around.
Of course, Trump's the man.
Isn't that crazy? Man, How do you feel? That's your guy going up against your former foe, DDP.
There's nobody better to comment on that fight than me.
Yes,
really.
Please tell us. What do you think?
What, you want me to break it down a little bit?
Tell me. Yes.
Everyone keeps asking me. Do you know what, mate? Honestly, I trained with Khamzat for the best part of like a year and a half, and like we had, mate, when we used to train together, like, as he's already known as an overtrainer. At that time, I was sort of coming to the end of like my UFC career, so I probably wasn't as given as much entertained. Like now I'm super fit and stuff like that, and fully on my game. But he's a phenomenal athlete that comes out. He has to be reined in a little bit, and as we all know, his grappling's chef's kiss. Breaking it down, mate, I just see it like everyone else sees it a little bit, but I see it in a different light. Dricus for me, yeah, that awkwardness is what gets him to win fight. But that's not only the only factor with Dricus. I feel like Dricus is a little bit like Paddy. I feel like sometimes people have tried to like undermine Paddy's because like his striking might not be as crisp, and it's the same with Dricus. But this is the art of MMA, so we're putting all the arts together. So Paddy and Dricus, I feel like they're a bit of the same. They put the strikes together to get the takedown, and obviously Paddy's grappling's really good, and Dricus has got good ground as well. So I just feel like that works for the type of fighter they are. Whereas Khamzat, if we were to break him down, he's a pure grappler, and to be honest, he does have power on the feet. So I think I think for Khamzat with a win on the feet, and if it's to get it to the floor, because I feel like in the first 2 rounds, Dricus is going to be really powerful. So if the sub doesn't come, Khamzat's got to lay off the pedal a little bit and start being smart, like on the feet and stuff like that, like trying to like sort of what's the word, stalk him. So like, because he's got a lot of power, Khamzat, you know what I mean? I felt Dricus' power on the feet. Dricus for me doesn't really have power, but he's a phenom, and he's a specimen. Dricus, he's so strong. So I just see first rounds Khamzat, but I feel like the way Arman Tsarukyan was talking the other day, that they've stopped Khamzat from overtraining. I feel like he's definitely going to be good to go full pedal for the full 5 rounds. So I'm sort of I'm just like 70-30 at the moment. I just don't see a way where Khamzat doesn't beat him. But obviously, I'm not gonna overlook Dricus. Dricus is this guy who he knows how to win. He finds ways to win. He's got grit, and you can tell he's definitely, he trains really hard, and he's obviously got a great team that's strategic. And that's what I mean. It's like people can. I've given him shit. I've said like he's the best shittest fighter ever, but his team are very strategic. And even you see when I was comparing him and Paddy. Paddy's got a great team behind him in terms of strategies. So it's not only about when you're coming in or when you say like, oh, Paddy's just got grappling, Dricus has just got like strength. They've got a team behind them that are strategizing for them opponents, and that's ultimately sometimes what makes the difference in these fights. So Dricus he's got a hell of a chance, but you know me, I'm team Khamzat, and I've trained him, and I don't see past 3 rounds of Khamzat. I reckon he can knock him out on the feet as well. I really do. He's got a solid left hand. I've been on the receiving end a few times, but his grappling and the people he's training with, and he's got Arman. As I trained with Arman in Thailand, and Arman for me, I'm a fan of Arman. Like he's a phenomenal athlete himself. So I'm third round Khamzat, me.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, can I ask you? You said 1 fight left with Misfits. You think you'll resign? Are you happy with them?
I think they're going to offer me too much money to not resign. They love me.
Who would be the next one after Rockhold? Like who makes the most sense?
I think if we could come to an agreement with Misfits and BKFC to do a co-promotion, like me and Perry, like one boxing, one bare knuckle.
Oh, wow.
And then that's just dusted. And then next year, obviously, the big one's Jake, innit? I'm not going to be sat here calling out every time, but that's a big one to get in this space that we're in, Jake. But obviously, if that doesn't come about, there's names. I was on the FaceTime to Masvidal about 4 weeks ago, so I was asking him for the fight.
Oh, wow. Boxing?
Yeah. He showed me, though. He's got a bit of a beer belly at the moment, so I don't think he's ready.
Okay. All right. Well, August 30th, the Zone pay-per-view. By the way, can I ask your missus, what's it like living with Darren?
Erratic.
Erratic. I can't even imagine.
I'm not, you don't want to live with me, Ariel.
I feel like this is actually kind of like the most tame version of you that we've seen in quite some time.
A lot of people have been saying that. There's a guy who come, the VADA testing, the steroid testing, because I've asked for it because I think Luke's on steroids. He come the other day and he said, I used to be scared to come to you, Till. And I was like, why? He's like, I don't know, but I used to be scared. He's like, you're so much calmer now. And I was like, I'm like, everyone keeps saying that. Maybe I need to be more erratic these days now, Ariel.
No, maybe this means you're in good spirits. What was that?
Yeah.
I've said no, we've tamed the gorilla.
Wow, well played. Well done.
No, I'm honestly, Ariel, I'm really focused and I'm in great shape for this. This is going to be a good fight, August 8th, because I've been watching Luke. Luke's in phenomenal shape. So, as I say to you, I'm not overlooking someone like Luke. I know he's a bit older, but, you don't get to be a former Strikeforce world champion and UFC world champion without having a bit of bias. So I don't overlook him, but I just hope he's not overlooking me either, because because of that last fight with Darren. Darren's shirt's so tough, and like to take them shots, you have to give props. I just don't feel like Luke can take them shots, but if he can, then it's going to be an 8-round war, and may the best man win.
Is Luke doing the testing too?
Luke has to do the testing, mate. Come on.
Do you know? Is he doing it? Do you know? Has he signed up?
I don't know. I fucking hope so.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Who knows, though? I could be on a little bit of something. Look
Oh,
at that, mate.
look.
Come on.
Wow. We haven't seen that in quite some time. Getting a little frisky next to the missus. I like it. I like it.
Vegas.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. This has been great. Thank you for coming on. Did we clear the air? Do you feel good?
Yeah, there was nothing to like sort of clear. I was just like, I didn't want the narrative being like, oh, it broke down because I said, oh, I'm not ready for a big... Like, when David put that offer across to me, it was too stupid to decline. It's not saying I don't want to do BKFC because I'm scared. I'm just not in that... I'm not in that phase of my career just yet, you know what I mean? But negotiations didn't happen, and I'm not putting the blame on anyone, but I certainly don't want the blame being put on me either.
Much love, Darren. Good luck to you. Thank you for coming on. You're always welcome. We appreciate you and looking forward to the fight on the 30th of August. Bye, Mrs. Till, as well.
Bye.
Take care, Darren. There he is, the great Darren Till. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.